Startups like Ola, Big Basket, MyGate, Paytm Money, non-profit organizations like Give India, fintechs like Cred have completely transformed the market scenario of India. Today, a young nation like India has witnessed a massive penetration of digitalism of the businesses in the form of online markets, and they offer a wide range of services from online grocery shopping to financial help. Now, has it ever occurred to you that how do only some people make it this big? Or do they have any special blueprint by which they can set up such successful businesses or startups? Or how would it feel like to learn about the world of the startups and how does it work from the founders itself? Well, in today's video, I'm going to share with you some of the lessons that I learned while reading some of the books in which the founders have written about how they gained confidence and how they learned to seize opportunities in the untapped markets in India. Before getting into the nitty-gritties, always remember, if you have an idea and you are extremely passionate about it, just go for it. If you don't get head-on into it at the first instance, you won't be able to know what works for you and what doesn't work for you. The basic and the most important drawbacks that people face while launching their own businesses or startups is how and what is the right age. Well, the answer to the first question is that you have only fear in your mind which paralyzes you. So in order to get rid of that fear is to remove it and to just smash it on the face. And the answer to the second question is that there is no such specific age in which you can start your own business. You can be in your 20s, you can be in your 30s, 40s, 50s or 60s, and there are large number of examples worldwide. So, but you would think that if things would have been so easy, then people would have cracked the game just like breaking a twig. But it isn't. Remember UTV or the movies like Emotional Atyachar or Chalte Chalte, Barfi, Rang De Basanti, they broke all records in the box office with their unimaginable numbers. Its founder, Mr. Ronnie Screwvala, who was a complete beginner in this genre in the Bollywood industry, he seized the opportunity. He saw that there is a potential in making money in this genre. So he believed in his dreams. He took the plunge. He went on big with his ideas. He made immense sacrifices. He focused on the scale. He focused on the trends. And the rest is history. He made a place in the Bollywood industry. The most important lesson that I learned from Mr. Ronnie Screwvala, and I cannot say that how important it is, and that is the only one thing that we do as Indians is we constantly undersell ourselves. Please don't sell yourselves short. Just imagine if you yourself are not confident about yourself, about your personal branding, about your products, about your services, how can you think that the world will believe in you or your services? Also, if the founders of the Big Basket would have thought that okay, there are already so many players in the market in this online businesses, just as Amazon or Grofers, we don't think that our idea will work. But Big Basket today has turned into a massive online supermarket with more than 10,000 brands and more than 18,000 products which are listed on their website and on their mobile apps. So the basic thing that people will face while trying anything new in their life is fear. Fear always is evident, but that doesn't mean that you should not take the plunge. Always remember that in order to remove the fear from your mind, you need to know what works for you and what doesn't. And for that, you have to get yourself out in the field and gain perspective, gain experience. The second lesson that I want to share with you all is be shameless. Just don't be the know-it-all person. Always remember, experience and practice will always be the game changer in whatever you do. Now, finding out your own niche, researching about a topic is important before taking the plunge. But don't use it as an excuse to procrastinate or to use it as a tactic to just hold on to your dreams, because that doesn't work. Recalibrating and considering the worst case scenarios, your measurements and your abilities to cope with dangers and failures, to work on the solutions rather than panicking, are the key ingredients to always help you to push towards success, and it will always act as a net or a cushion against the fear of failures. Now, there was this interview by Economic Times with Mr. Kunal Shah, who was the founder of Recharge and is presently the founder of Cred. He said that shame is a trend behavior because we all want to fit in. But fitting in itself is a dangerous thing, because success is not at all about fitting in. We as humans don't have rewind buttons in our lives. Sad but true. What I loved about how Ronnie Screwvala has described making choices in his book Skill It, Kill It. He said, and I quote, "Sometimes look out at the sea, at the mountains and the stars, and ask yourself, what does success mean to you? How do you define success? How would it feel like to change your lifestyle for good? How would it feel like to change the lives of thousands of people? Success, credibility, failures, reputation, all of this depend on the choices that you make today." Take for example the story of Your Story. Shraddha Sharma, who is the founder of Your Story, she was working with entrepreneurs and had learned about many success stories while she was working with CNBC and Times of India. And she wanted to launch these budding entrepreneurs in her programs as a project, but her offer was turned down every single time. But she was mindful of the choices that she was trying to make. And what she did was she launched a website in the name Your Story, where she voiced the voices of these budding entrepreneurs and wrote about the success stories of the startup founders. Today in India, Shraddha Sharma has been declared as the world's top 500 LinkedIn influencers, and her company has been declared as the most definitive and successful platforms where the success stories of the entrepreneurs are voiced, and there are many resources and reports which are also published. So, what do you observe? There are some traits which are distinguishing all these alphas from the wolf pack, and they are very much evident in all these success stories. They are their focus, their growth mindset, their never-ending hunger for learning more and more, and their passion for evolving. This brings me to the fourth point, and that is keep evolving. If you don't, you perish. So being the owner and the founder of a startup, you always need to keep a keen and a sharp eye on your competitors, on what services and goods that they are offering to their customers. Markets are always evolving, they are constantly changing. If you are able to gauge the need of the hour, then bam, you are on the right track and you have cracked the game. Always try to take feedbacks from your customers and always try to know their pain points. Relieve them of their pain points. Take examples of Apple, Spotify, Netflix. They are always evolving. They always try to offer a vast range of services depending on the pain points of their customers. They try to observe the behavior of the people. They try to listen carefully, and then they convert them into opportunities. The fifth and the last important point that I would like all of you to take away from this video is handling your customers online. In today's world, everything is online, and especially after COVID, all the offline businesses have gone online and are trying to. Now there are two sides of the coin. The positive side is that you can work from anywhere and offer your services to your customers, and you can work at your own time. But there is also a negative aspect to it. Suppose you are not a person who is very good at pitching, a person who is not very good at advertising, and also not very good at sales. Now for those people, it becomes very important to learn new things, keep evolving, learn designing. Even if you don't know, just try and take some tutorials. There are many available on the free platforms like YouTube itself. Also, you have to know and maintain the performance of your online businesses. Now there are two important pivotal metrics by which you can gauge that, and that is LTV and the CAC. The LTV is the lifetime value of customers and the CAC is the customer acquisition cost. Now let me give you an example. Suppose you are trying to launch a bakery business online, or you already had a bakery business and that you were doing it offline, but after COVID you are trying to increase your sales, you're trying to increase your engagement with your customers, and so you have thought of going online. You have to keep some things in mind. That is, the LTV should always be greater than the CAC. What do I mean by that is that you should always try to focus on retaining the customers who were previously with you and then try to focus on the new ones. Always try to catch up with your customers via newsletters, emails, and maintain the pages that you have launched for yourself online, on Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook, because that is how businesses work nowadays. So ask yourself, what do you want to be known for? How would you like people to remember you? Also, if you would like to dig deeper into the topics of entrepreneurships and startups, I would highly recommend you to read the books Everything Started With Nothing by Bhaskar Majumdar and Dream With Your Eyes Open by Ronnie Screwvala. Also, if you have watched the video till this end, then do consider subscribing to my channel and also hit that bell button so that you get notified every time I post a new video. Share this video with your friends and your family. Also comment down below. I'll see you in the next video. Till then, keep learning, stay smart and stay strong.